if it was illegal to say stupid things into a microphone.
Why must you be so stupid?
These guys would be doing life without parole.
Hey, everybody, we're back from prison.
Why do we keep encouraging this kind of behavior? It's the Breaking the Ice podcast with Josh Dolan.
You know, we could, go to jail for this.
Along with Mike Shue and Isaiah Moskahana Bonsa Monablitz Boskowitz, whatever the hell his name is.
What's going on, guys?
What's up, Jordan?
What's up, GM?
How's everybody doing?
Awesome. How are you?
Pretty good.
Doing good. Doing good.
Just barely made it, so.
Voice. I've been yelling at little kids on the ice for the last 2 days, so
Right?
I'll have to excuse the rasp.
How did that? That's an awesome. Josh sent me the note on that. I was like, well, hold on, GM. So GM and head coach of the Railers.
Yes, sir.
Congrats.
Yes, sir. I like the hat and shirt, by the way.
Talk to me. I told you how stupid I got it. Went out for 2. Then I went back for the parade.
There you go.
They're not local, man. I got to go where my team is.
Hey, I like it, man. I like it.
It was a blast. So how did that all come to fruition, man? Player one day, next boom, you're in charge.
Yeah. So no, I mean, it all came down. Mike Myers came up to me and approached me and told me that the position would be opening up and asked me if I would like to be considered for it. And I threw my hat in the ring. We interviewed and chatted a bunch about it over the course of a week or so after the spot had opened, and that was it. It happened.
Wow. GM and head coach of your Worcester Railers, Mike Shue.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I heard about that somewhere.
I should hope so, being a morning host in that town.
Yeah.
I should hope so.
I'll ask you what I asked before, though. Have you found a replacement for yourself since you were the best goddamn player on that team? The most points. You took our best player off the roster. That's the first mistake. Your first move was a mistake as coach and GM.
Can you still play?
What's going on over there?
I said that morning when that was the first thing when I signed the contract. It was the first thing Mike Myers said to me. He goes, your first job is to replace yourself. Good luck.
Right.
I mean, you could still play. I mean, that's what they did in Slapshot, right? He was player, coach, GM.
He was. I think so. The unfortunate thing in a salary cap league is any money that I'm making counts towards our salary cap. So we'll have to be down a few bodies before that works out.
Listen, Tom Brady, take a hometown discount. Let's go.
Right.
I did last year when I was playing, so that's what you've already been down that road.
Yeah, because the ECHL is doling out NFL money, right?
I lost money playing hockey. I don't know what you guys do.
They got a deal on those hat tricks every game from you.
Yeah. And Josh, look how well Paul Newman turned out in Slapshot.
Right.
Exactly.
You basically looked at this job and you said, I need to make some money back. I'll be the GM. Well, how much are you going to pay me? Let's go.
This time, my, I got to be honest. I took like 2.5 weeks off after the season. And then I started working out. I'm like, I'm playing next year. I got to get back in shape. That first week of workouts did something to my body that it has never, ever felt before. I couldn't sit down to take a shit for like 4 days after the first workout because my legs were so tired and shaky from the first lift. I thought, wow, this is a sign. It might be time.
You know what's sad is that's me not like just getting up. There's no exercise involved whatsoever. I get up in the morning, my legs are so shaky, I just shit myself, and that's it. I can't even make it to the toilet.
That's me right now in the middle of moving boxes and stuff. I mean, my back is screaming right now. I know I'm putting on this face, but I am in a lot of pain. So
we're all dying inside on the podcast. That's great.
Yeah, great.
So, Jordan, you said in a lot of interviews that you want to make this team a little tougher. So, what's your definition of tougher?
I mean, definitely more physical. We definitely want to have a little bit of a tough guy presence. We lacked that last year, most of the year. I'm still out there looking for it. I want a bigger back end, some bigger defensemen, some stronger defensemen. Overall, I just want to be harder to play against. I felt like we had a lot of skill last year, but we had a lot of similar players. And I want to find a couple guys this year that are going to fill more of that role, that are going to be a pain in the ass to play against. It'll be in your face all the time. Might not be afraid to drop the gloves here or there.
Is that latest signing? Who was that? McGurty? Is that who you
yeah, he's a D-man. And he was a no-brainer for me. He was one of the first guys I talked to when I got the job about coming back. He, by the end of the season, was one of our most consistent and better defensemen. He doesn't necessarily play a tough guy game, but he is a hard defenseman to play against. He's strong on his stick. He's strong on the puck. So definitely excited to have him back.
Now, is that same tough guy mentality gonna be behind the bench too? Because I know, Isaiah, your Avalanche. I mean, Patrick Roy was about to jump through that glass. So,
dude, the first season when Roy was the coach of the Avalanche and he started punching the glass to fight the coach, I'm like, look, being a Bruins fan for 20 years before I became an Avalanche fan, not a fan of Roy, but when he was the goalie on the team that won the cup, okay, I like you. And then when he became coach, he has a short fucking fuse, that man.
Oh, he was my junior coach. I played for a year.
Oh,
yeah. He was my boss for the last couple of years too, scouting for my old Quebec League team. So no, I know Patrick well, and I saw that short fuse a few times. He tried to fight. I want to say Moncton's coach. It was I think it was Ted Nolan. And we had a game in Moncton, maybe in the playoffs, and he was ready to climb over the partition there too. He was ready to go. He gets fired up. One of my favorite Patrick stories was we were playing Bathurst in a regular season game. We were one of the best teams in Canada at the time. We were lights out, couldn't lose. And we're down, I think maybe 4-0 or 4-1 going to the third period. And he comes in the locker room and he loses his mind. He's screaming at us and he's telling, if you don't win this fucking game tonight, you are going out there and you are skating afterwards. Oh. We came back. I believe we lost like 5-4. I can't remember if it was overtime or we just lost 5-4, but we made it a game. I mean, we came back. We came out flying. Still lost. He gets in the locker room, tells everybody to get some water, tells the training staff to bring out the practice jerseys. Throws us in the practice jerseys and goes straight Herb Brooks on the line for 45 minutes. 45 minutes. We just did mountains. And we just what's going on behind you there, Shu?
My daughter's just yeah.
Yeah. So for 45 minutes after playing a game, we stood on the line and we did mountains. Blue line, goal line, red line, goal line, blue line, goal line, goal line, goal line, nonstop.
He wasn't fucking kidding.
Nope, he was not kidding. And I think we won 22 or 23 games in a row after that.
Now, was that before or after the Miracle movie came out? Because I feel like after that movie came out, every coach in hockey was doing that. And I was this was before.
This was in 2006.
So he's not a copycat.
No. He came up with that all on his own. So that was
the guy calling him copy text. He'll have you do it for 45 more minutes. Oh, you think I copied someone? Fuck you, I do it for 2 hours.
I was sitting in his office up there during Quebec's training camp this past year, and we were talking about that, and he's like, can't do things like that anymore. You get in trouble these days.
Oh, really? You can't even do stuff like that now?
A player might tweet about it, and then that's the end.
Yeah.
But isn't that, I mean, I thought that was like a pretty common thing. I mean, not just NHL, but from like Pee-wees on up, isn't that like, get out there and work. I'm going to make you work. Isn't that the coach's job?
It's yes, but you got to go about it differently these days.
People will fucking sue you. I can imagine that people will say, you hit me, you yelled at me. I don't think it's as bad as you hurt my feelings, but you can't Bobby Knight on someone and fucking start hucking chairs out onto the basketball fucking court.
No, coaches, and the thing is, coaches like that don't last as much anymore. They don't last as long. Players don't respond to that as much as they used to.
Right. Yeah. Or they have fucking heart attacks and drop dead.
What are some other things that because you've been all over the world? What are some other things some of the coaches have done that you take as an example of what not to do? What, like, you don't want to, like, I've worked for a bunch of guys, I'm not going to name right here, but it's like, I always say, if I ever get into this situation or some kind of supervisor situation, I am not going to, these are the things I'm not going to do. These are the examples not to follow.
There were definitely some. One that really jumps off the page is, I had a year, I had gotten traded to a team and I came in and it was an off year for me. And I wasn't necessarily reaching my potential that year. And the coach, he hated me. He absolutely hated me. We had some battles, some epic fuck you matches on the bench back and forth. And we get to a point where he's not going to dress me for a game. And he pulls me into his office and he tells me, yeah, you're not going to play tonight. And, I'm a little surprised. And he goes, you've been through this before, right? Like, this isn't the first time you've been scratched. I said, actually, yeah, this is the first time I've been scratched in the American League in my career. Like, I haven't done this before. And he was surprised by that. And then he went on to say, he goes, honestly, I don't really want to play you ever. And he keeps the conversation going and we start to get into it a little bit. And he looks at me and he goes, hey, you remember so-and-so? I was like, yeah, I grew up with him. I know who you're talking about. And I don't want to name names. And I was like, yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. Like, we grew up to play. I've known him for years. And he looks at me and goes, ask him what happened with his career, how easy it was for him to get a job after he left here. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah. He goes, coaches call me. They're going to ask for references. What do you want me to tell them about you? Because he couldn't get a job. And I just remember leaving that office just
what a dick.
Exactly. Feeling like, man, like what's the point of that? Like, I understand.
Yeah, going out of your way.
Yeah, going out of your way to basically sit there and tell me that you're going to ruin my career. And you know what? I found out several years later he did. He tried to. I had several teams that offered me contracts in the top league in Germany after my first year out of the American League that I was going over to Europe. And they'd all offer the contracts. They would just need to do our homework. And all of a sudden, those contracts were gone.
That's fucking lame.
Never figure out where it came from until the year I had my heart surgery that we talked about on the first episode there. I ended up going out with the coaching staff of the team that I had eventually signed down in Germany and having a bunch of beers with them. So they're finally a little bit loosened up. We're 10 big, tall Hefeweizens in at this point. And I finally asked, I was like, hey, you know what happened? You guys almost signed me 6 years ago and you pulled the contract. I found out it was some kind of character reference that came back. You know me now. You know what kind of person I am. Like, what happened? And the guy told me exactly what it was. He said, we called this guy. He was a coach in Europe for a while. He said that you were uncoachable. You were a terrible teammate. You were a horrible guy in the locker room and just sewered me.
Wow.
So that has always stuck out as an example that I'm never going to use my position and hold it over a guy in that regard. It's something I'll never forget and something that I will never do to a player.
Where is that guy now in the ecosystem of hockey?
The Bruins just hired him.
Great.
That would fit in that organization. With
shit.
Don Sweeney at the helm, who I also had a pretty good FU match back and forth with at one point. That would make two of them. But no, I think he was coaching somewhere in the Quebec League last I heard. I'm not sure where he is now.
That stands true with any management of anybody anywhere, or any, like Mike was saying, a position of being in a supervisory role. Like, you gotta, if I come out of a meeting with you, and even if I've got so much work I need to do, lift me up somehow. Make me be like, all right, look, Isaiah, this might not be, you're doing really well with this. So good. Keep that up. We can work on these things, but we can do that together. And that's going to encourage me to say, all right, well, I can do this well. I'll really enhance on that. Not when you come out of meetings, and we've all been there with different jobs. When you come out going, why the fuck did I just even have that meeting? I feel like shit. And my energy level is not good. Like, I just want to go home.
Well, it takes away your motivation, right?
Oh, yeah.
You don't like, I found that with myself with, in a couple of different jobs, and it goes all the way back to high school when it's hard to believe I used to play sports. I was a
you
soccer
still do.
player, and
disc golf is a sport.
Yeah, I was going to say,
disc golf is a sport, goddammit.
All the time on Instagram.
That's right.
You work on the arm and you're super high the whole time.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Right. God bless it. But it's just like you feel like, and this is just me, you feel like, why do I want to even win for this guy?
Right.
You know? Yeah. And I think that's probably the challenge, right, Jordan? It's like, how do I get these guys to want to win, not just for me, but for the team? Like what's like a key to getting them to do that, to say, I want to do it for Jordan, I want to do it for the Railers?
I mean, for me, I think I'm in a lucky position that I got to battle a lot of these guys last year. I mean, we've got 5 or 6 guys coming back that saw me in the room. They saw me on the ice at 35 years old when we had 8 forwards for 3 games in a row, when we played 5 games in 7 nights.
Yep.
They know that I've gone to battle for them. They know me personally. They know that I'm going to continue to go to battle for them for their careers. And that's the best way to motivate guys these days. It's that whole servant leadership approach. It's that, yes, they work for me, but I work for them as well. And especially these days, the generation of player that's coming up through, they need to know and believe that their coach is working for them. I want to make them better players, and they need to believe that and feel that. And you can't do that if you're bullshitting them. Guys see through that shit instantly. And it's one thing that through the signing process and through the offseason and free agency, I can honestly take pride every night going to sleep knowing that when I talk to a guy, gave the expectations he should expect to come his way in training camp, they were honest. Nobody's going to come in and have the rug pulled out from under them. They know where they stand. I probably lost a guy or 2 in the process because, I couldn't tell them that I had a guaranteed spot for them for the year, that they might be one of those bubble guys, that if I get too many guys in town, they may have to go. But ultimately, I had 2 or 3 guys come back after I talked to them about that and say, no, like, I appreciate the honesty. I want to come earn my spot. So for me, it's really about the guys trusting that you have their best interest in mind. And that in the end is they're going to want to run through a wall for you if you're going to do the same thing for them on the administrative side.
Every boss or anybody watching that manages anybody should look at what you just said and put that into immediate effect. Doesn't matter. I don't care doesn't matter what you do for work. If you're in a hockey situation, work in radio, work at an accounting firm, if you do what you just said over the last minute or 2 right there, how do you not succeed?
Yeah.
There will be hard times. You may have to cut people. You're going to have some tough conversations. People are going to have attitudes. People have egos. Let's be serious. But I mean, you take that attitude, before you know it, you'll be the fucking coach of the Islanders or some team in the NHL. No, seriously, because
or maybe the Bruins, because they're going to have a spot open soon.
Wow, probably the Islanders first.
Wow.
Wow.
I look back at coaches that I played for, and I think about the coaches that I truly believed were trying to make me better. And those are the guys that I worked the hardest for. Those are the guys that I wanted to win for. Patrick in Quebec, he was a hard ass. He was all over us all the time, but he was fair. He was all over our best players. We had the kid Alexander Radulov that plays in the NHL now. He had 153 points in like 56 games or something.
Jesus.
That year we had, and he got on him as much as he got on the guy that was playing 3 minutes a night as a 16-year-old rookie. And I admired that so much out of him. And that's something I absolutely want to take. But he's a guy that if I ever had a chance to play for him again, I would run through the end wall for him. If he told me to back check 210 feet, I would find a way to be sitting in the 4th row of the bleachers in my gear to make that happen for him. And that's what I want my guys to do. And, Cunning was like that last year too. Cunning is a guy that, he had his players' best interests at heart when it came to development. He made me a better player last year at 35, and I'm so thankful for that. I take a lot of that example from him moving forward in this job.
Where's he going now? What's he off to do?
I don't know. I actually have got to reach out to him here soon and have a chat and see what's next for him. I think he'll land in a good spot. He's hockey-wise one of the most brilliant hockey minds I've played for. X's and O's and player development-wise, he's second to none. That guy taught me a lot about the game this year.
When you say that and you look at the position being changed, how did the team come to that conclusion? Because you praise him.
I think they all sat down at the end of the year and it wasn't going to be a fit for both parties and they had that conversation and moved on. But you won't find a lot of guys in the room that had a ton of bad things to say about Paul. He found a way to make guys better last year. That's for sure.
Yep. In all fairness, he was messed up. He had some messed up years. I mean, well, 1 year wasn't even a year, right?
Yeah, and last year was an
even
absolute nightmare of a situation. I mean, we had like 70 to 80 bodies that came through our room. It's a tough situation to work with for sure. And we just missed the playoffs, and even having gone through all that. So we're starting off next year from a good spot. The core group of guys that are going to be coming back are good players. Our top six forwards are going to be guys that are good top six for the league. We got a couple defensemen now lined up that I'm really excited about. There's a lot of good things coming, and like I said, we're going to play a pretty simple, very hard game. Have the puck in the other teams as much as
What about Appleby? Do you expect to see
That's awesome.
him at all? Or
I know what's going on with App. I've kind of been holding off on goalie recruiting, waiting to see what Bridgeport's going to do. I'm sure I'll get an update on that here now that free agency has started, and they'll start signing their players out of junior, and they'll start signing their draft picks, things like that, and eventually that will trickle down, and I'll kind of know what's coming our way.
What is it you look for, like you personally, you look for in a goalie? Because that is a particular breed of human right there. If they can be considered human at all.
Like, you know what? The goalies we had last year between Appleby and Ellis had to be two of the most normal human beings for goalies that I've ever played with. I mean, both amazing guys and incredible athletes. They were huge for us last season. What I look for in a goalie, I like a little size in a goalie. Preferably you want a guy that's a little bit bigger, but that doesn't say that there are guys that aren't good that are, under that 6 foot mark. Guy I played with in Manchester a few years back. He just signed in Jacksonville. Charles Williams is his name. Unbelievable goalie, smaller. He's got a compete level like nobody else. So that's something I look for in a goalie. Somebody that's going to fight hard for that 4th and 5th rebound if it happens. But for goalies, I don't have a ton of experience scouting goalies. That'll be the first thing I'll tell you. That's something that I lean on other people for. I lean on goalies that I played with in the past. If a kid gets sent to me, I'll ask a guy that I play with, look at some video for me, help me out here. Mike Myers was a goalie, our COO.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right.
His opinion, when he has a look, and there's a number of people that I'll go to when it comes to goalie scouting.
Can you lean on someone like Patrick? Could you go back to Patrick? Sorry, Mike. And talk to him.
Patrick, probably not. That guy's, he's a GM and a coach of that team up there. If it's somebody that played in the Quebec League that I was looking at, he would be a first call for sure, because he'd give me a pretty honest opinion. He's an interesting one because he's always said with his team, he hires and has a separate goalie coach.
Got it.
Somebody of his standing, it's got to be intimidating to play for. Right?
Right.
So he tries to keep his hands off the goaltending as much as possible, is what he said, because it can just, the pressure would probably be huge.
Oh my God. Can you imagine if Patrick Roy or Grant Fuhr or Andy Moog or any of those people, and all of a sudden you were a goalie coming up under these men, you'd be like, I can't fuck up.
Yeah.
I can't fuck up. Or Osgood with Detroit, or any of those like legendary goalies, or Brodeur, you'd be like, I can't even look the fucking guy in the eye.
I will say they probably have one of the more impressive coaching staffs moving forward next year. They just signed Simon Gagne to be one of their assistant coaches. Their head coach is now Patrick Roy, and their assistant coach, if I read that correctly, is Simon Gagne, and I think he's going to be an assistant GM as well, or something like that. So that staff's incredible. Yeah,
that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Just a kind of on a related note, back to Mike Myers. Now, I always get his title wrong. Is he CFO now, or what's
COO, I believe.
COO?
Yeah.
So I got a question about him. I know you don't have to answer because, I don't want you to get in trouble, but are all his teeth fake? Because when that guy smiles at me, it's like, oh my God, you have beautiful teeth for a hockey player.
Honestly, I don't know. I'll be happy to ask him. I actually just got off the phone with him about an hour ago.
It's just a gorgeous mouthful of chiclets there. It's just pristine. I'm like, you've never played hockey ever.
Hey, you know what? Some of us make through a full career with all of our teeth.
Really?
I can say that now without knocking on wood.
Wow.
I mean, some little kid at a clinic I'm running is probably going to fall high, stick me now, and I'm going to lose one. But
watch game 1. A puck's going to come right behind the bench and hit you.
Wouldn't that, yeah. I have taken some in the face and they've stayed in there. So we'll hope to keep that streak alive.
I'm looking at him on the Railers website, Mike. Michael G. Myers. There he is. Look at those teeth. You go, there's no way. Either
amazing smile.
Delta, how is Delta Dental not the official dentist of the NHL? Like, I'm in marketing, and every time I watch a game, obviously we just watch right through the Stanley Cup Finals. There are no teeth in any of those dudes' heads, and I'm like, how the fuck did Delta Dental not grab onto that sponsorship? Like, if you're listening, Delta Dental, I can work out the deal for you, morons.
There's some money there, I am sure, and there's
are you
plenty of advertising space.
Dude, Eric Johnson, look at him. How many times did you see his face in the finals? That kid's got no teeth from here to here and doesn't give a shit. He's like, fuck you, I got the cup. I'm like, wow, dude, you need teeth. You need teeth.
Yeah. It's always that's the first question I get anytime I do anything. Anytime I go on a date, anytime I meet someone, oh, you're a hockey player, do you have all your teeth? Yeah.
See?
Yes, I do.
That was the classic, like, I guess you could say, stereotype of a hockey player. Because before, helmets and everything, it was Bobby Clark and that giant gap in his mouth, and scars all over his face and shit like that.
I still play men's league hockey over here in Westboro, and I'm putting a cage on. I forgot. I played a game the other day and I put it on. I was like, what am I doing? What's the point? I'm not a pro anymore. I'm putting a cage on. Screw this.
Right? You have a team to run, man. We can't have you all fucked up. And
I gotta look good behind the bench, right?
How
is, I mean, it's only been a little bit, but go from like I'm not gonna say day one when it happened, but you were a player and that whole point of view. Now you see everything. You understand everything. Budgets. I mean, how is that transition? It's only been a little bit, but like going from here's my bubble to, oh fuck, I'm in charge of all of this shit. Like, is that like, how's that feeling?
It's a lot. It was a lot at the beginning. Adrenaline carried me through the first week or so, and that was chaotic. Getting a bunch of guys signed, and there was a futures trade deal deadline. There was all kinds of stuff that I day one that I was going through. And then it settled down a little bit. It's a very different day for me. I wake up in the morning, I get my workout in, I take the dog for a walk, and then I sit at the computer all day and I recruit.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get myself to a point here. I'd say I'm probably maybe 4 signings away from being able to relax for a little bit and then just kind of letting the rest of the market come to me, which will feel really nice. But I've loved it. I got to be honest, I've loved it. That's cool. It's been a nice change of pace. I mean, it's funny. I still go to the pro skates and I'm still practicing with the guys. I'm still playing in some of the pro league games because, let's be honest, I don't like exercising any other way and I don't want to get fat. So that's how I'm staying in shape. I believe I'm going to head over and skate tomorrow morning at
keep skating
9:30 because it's not fun for me any other way to burn calories. So that's how I've got to do it.
I was going to ask you that, like, because you say, I get up in the morning and I work out. I'm like, you're still going to do that even though it's, you're coach GM now, and because you see some of these guys who stop playing, and believe me, I worked with one of them. And it's like, they just get so huge so fast. And I just would imagine it's because, you've done it for so long. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I don't have to do this anymore. Fuck this. Let's get a cheesecake, and
first of all, LB's not even here to defend himself. That's not,
I never said
fair.
his name.
Oh yeah. Sorry. No, it's because
you weren't talking about fucking spaz. That's for sure. Let's be serious.
No, it is. Honestly, man, the first couple of weeks, it's like I've got to find that motivation again. But I'm also a single head coach and GM, so there's a whole other aspect of that. I've got to keep this in somewhat decent form.
Right, that's a whole nother level of motivation right there.
Exactly. Yeah. Still on the market, so it's
Oh, that's right. We did the podcast and that girl left you after that because we said some shit about it. We're sorry about that. We're sorry about that,
man. Jesus.
That was our fault.
When you were with her, you weren't playing well, but when you broke up, I think you had a hat trick. So we were trying to help you with that stuff.
Yeah, so maybe we'll win a ton of games if I stay single through the season. We'll have to figure that out.
Well, you stayed single and you're the fucking general manager, so
Right.
Keep the signal clear.
I'm destined to be a lonely workaholic.
Right.
Is that,
You
is
gotta,
that
you
what
gotta
I'm-
live like you gotta
what
live
I'm
like a
hearing,
priest.
guys?
You know, you're married to the game now.
no, I'd say married to the game and one night stands until you can't anymore. Go. Just go.
I did go out and get a puppy. That was my that was my answer to coming home to an empty house every night for the time
Okay.
being. So that's been a lot of work, but awesome.
So now your
Okay.
furniture's ripped apart and you're trying to figure out what the weird smell is.
You know what? Honestly, I'm home so much working on recruiting and stuff. I'm there. It hasn't happened yet. She's been great.
That's great.
Perfect.
Yeah. Except
Where do
the
you-
massive separation anxiety that she now has every time I walk out of a room because I'm constantly there. That's not good.
Right.
Well, you gotta bring her over to the rink, get her used to hanging out. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. She's seen the office once or twice already. Yeah.
Nice.
That could be a
Perfect.
thing. That could be doesn't Belichick have a dog? And when during draft, like the dog got up on a chair or something, was at the computer, he took a picture and he put it out there, like his dry humor, but like this fucking dog is making the decisions for the New England Patriots. You might be able to put your dog on the chair and say, hey, I'm the new GM and my dog's gonna make the decision. So you better like fucking animals.
The official dog of the well, I guess there's already official dog. There's tracks, but you know.
Well, listen, there's
Way
a
to
new
go,
GM in
Josh.
town. There's a new GM in
Oh,
town.
There is.
and Mike Myers he's got his dog pops into the office every once in a while and slides down to the office. So there may be a couple pups running around at different times. So
Hey, can we get the person that does your website to put your fucking face on the front office staff? I mean, I got ownership here.
Summer, man. Come on.
No, this is fucking bullshit. Cliff and Susan, I get you own the team. Thanks. And then you got Stephanie, who's the president. Mike, your teeth look fucking amazing, Myers. And then the rest of these people, I don't see the fucking stud leader here.
well,
What
I don't
the
know.
fuck?
I don't know if I fall under front office or if there's got to be a hockey.
Where the fuck are you? I
GM
mean,
is front office.
Yeah, general
So
manager.
Maybe I go in both. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll-
Head coach, maybe? I don't know. Who the fuck are the Islanders running this website? Fuck New York, dude.
Oh,
Let's get
Jesus.
Nicole from Invoke Media on the case. All right.
Yes. Our website girl that does our website can fix this shit. Thank you. Was Jordan's face.
It'll
Let's
be on there.
go.
We got plenty of time. Season's start for 3 months. My face is all over the player stuff anyway for now, so we're good.
And then,
Nope,
like on
you
the
are the
website, could we have
goddamn boss.
official podcast of the Railers breaking the ice?
You want to make that a thing? I could put you in touch with the right people.
Do we
Yeah,
want to
let's do
make it a thing? Yes. We'll see. You and I were talking about charitable things because I'm still doing a lot of work in Worcester. Now that you're the GM and the head coach, let's fucking go.
All right.
Let's
do
go.
it. Anytime you guys want to have me on, anytime you guys want to have a player on, just let me know.
That'd
well,
be awesome.
What you can do for me, and I think you know what I'm going to ask here, because Mike
It's the
Myers.
pie eating contest. Are we going down that road
absolutely.
again?
Can I get in on that again this season? I'm 0 for 2 here. I got to make good somehow.
You know what? I think 29 minutes. I think I set the over under at 30.
Wow.
Or if that would come up, and I took the under in my head personally. I took the under, and you hit just in time. So
When does the season open for? Because I looked at again, this fucking site doesn't even have your face on it, so I wouldn't expect the goddamn games to be up there.
the schedule is on there. I don't. Maybe you're just not clicking the right buttons right now.
This would be the
Wait.
Worcester Railers HC. I know that for sure.
Okay,
But
because
no,
there's another
that's-
Railers website, but that's X-rated.
Yeah, that's one we avoided taking the domain on probably for a
Oh,
lot.
what is this piece of shit I'm looking at? This has fucking Patrick Roy's face. I'm not kidding. Yeah. Well, when's the first home game for the Railers?
I know our first game is the 22nd. The first home game is a better question.
I believe that's
October?
the 23rd. That's what Cam. I think that's what Cam
Is
told me.
it a home and home to open up? So it's Friday the 22nd on the road and the 23rd at home.
No, I think. I think the 23rd is the first home game. I think
got
that's
it
what
right
Cam
here.
told me.
There's my calendar.
Cam
Are we
McGuire.
talking-
He's the what's
Yeah,
Cam
Cam McGuire.
McGuire's title there?
Everything.
I know. It seems like he does everything, really. Yeah.
I do it all.
That guy does everything. So according to the schedule I have, the 22nd is our first home game against Adirondack
Okay.
22nd of
October.
October. Okay. So what we should do is we should set the podcast up there and do it at that fucking game.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. I think that'd be an awesome thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if, I mean, like leading up to it, like talk to players and you and kind of use this as I mean, we've got a big following in Worcester, at least 3 other people listen. So, or watch.
I think we're up to 4 now. Let's take it easy.
Well, there's you, Josh, there's Mike, there's me. My wife checks in every now and then.
Josh's mom. Yeah.
Yes.
Sandy's in. I know
you
Sandy
you guys
watches.
have got me. I'm a listener now.
Oh, there you go. That's 5.
You guys had Dane Cook on the other day. I listened to that one.
Right. And now, sir, you're the GM and the head coach. So with much respect, we appreciate it.
No, I gotta go back to you mentioned Cam, and you talk about my transition, all the responsibilities that I have now. I would have been lost without that guy. That guy does everything. If you ever look at an organization in hockey, they all have that one guy that if he was to disappear, the place falls apart. And that's Cam. That guy is the glue. He works his ass off, and he does it with a smile. He's a great kid, and so I want to make sure that he gets credit where credit is due, because he's a massive help for me in this transition and helped me get used to all the paperwork stuff and all that crap that I avoided for 16 years playing again instead of working. So.
And he's literally a kid. How old is he? He's like 13? I mean, he's literally a kid. Seriously.
Yeah, he is, and he's got the long blonde hair. Cam's 25. Cam also single for the people listening in Worcester. And right. You know what? He is a great guy. So that's my PSA for Cam. We kind of jokingly refer to him as the golden retriever in the office and around the team, because like I said, the guy just does everything for us. And I would have been lost last year as a captain without him, and even more so now as a coach. So
he's got the longest fucking title on the webpage. Cam McGuire, manager of communications, broadcasting, hockey operations, and a bunch of other fucking shit that Jordan doesn't want to do.
I very affectionately, when people ask me or I describe Cam, I say, "Oh yeah, my Cam, the team bitch is going to reach out to you." And I say that in the nicest way, because I love Cam, but it really is the guy he just does everything, and it's fantastic.
If people want to see who we're talking about, you just follow the Railers on social media, because he does all the video stuff. He's the host. He does the broadcast too, right?
A broadcaster in the game, and he's a fantastic broadcaster. He's made some great calls over the years that I've heard. Some great calls on some of my goals last year. He's super into it. He's looking to make a career in broadcasting on that side of things, and
that's awesome.
I think he's got a pretty bright future there. So yeah.
And that play-by-play stuff is very hard.
He's on the rise. He's single and on the rise. He's going places.
I'm hearing there's a lot of single guys on the Railers, so all the single Worcester girls just go to Uno's after the games and.
The Railers are more. They're a mezcal group.
Oh,
you know what? You might want to edit this, Josh, because I believe Cliff Rucker owns Off the Rails.
Yes, please cut that out. Yeah. Everybody go to Off the Rails.
Go to Off the Rails.
The food is fantastic. The atmosphere is fantastic. The concert venue in the back is even better.
Right, exactly. All those people you see that look like hockey players at mezcal, they're not. They're just goons.
You know, I forget about it because it opened up kind of mid-season on us last year, and so I've been there several times this summer. I do very much enjoy it.
Last time I was there, I was almost blackout drunk, and I woke up with a skull ring on my hand.
Oh.
And I just remember vaguely some guy with a mohawk and a pink goatee drove me home.
Was that for the AAF?
Yeah, that was for the
the
Godsmack. Were you there?
Yeah. No, I wasn't there.
Okay, all right, because I'm sorry if I don't remember.
Apparently Theo Vaughn was given.
I would have been in a similar state probably if I had been there. So
yeah, it was nice from what I can remember. Great place.
Yeah, I mean, it's an awesome little concert venue. So
yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. One more question for me. When you talk about all the signings and things, what is the pool that you pick from at the league level where you're at? I know where the NHL does it. I mean, where do you go find? Is it high school, college? Do you have other league? Where do you find your players that you want to sign?
Everywhere.
Okay.
So we're looking. A big market right now is kids coming out of Canadian college. They've played their 4 years of major junior. They played 3-4 years of, it's called U Sports. And a lot of those guys are coming out at 24, 25. They're a little older, a little mature, starting their careers at that age. The NCAA is a big feeder to the East Coast League.
Right.
it's been a weird market with the NCAA because they offered a 5th year to everybody who was in school at any point during COVID. So whereas the last couple of years, you would have a bunch of seniors graduating coming to play, you now have a bunch of seniors that are taking a 5th year and staying in school for another year, or transferring to another school and taking a 5th year as opposed to playing professionally. And then it's within the league. Guys will transfer teams from within the league. And then, you know, guys that may have gone to Europe, didn't have as much success there, that come back. Guys that had, you know, success in the lower leagues that maybe looking to build their stock over here on the North American side. So the player pool is very large.
How many scouts do you have?
One.
That's Cam. That's Cam Meyer.
Cam.
Yes. It's me. No, that's unfair. So our old assistant coach, who was going to be my assistant coach and was taking a position, a different job somewhere else. They offered him a lot more money than we could, and I encouraged him to take that opportunity, because it's a tough business in this world to make money in, and if you get that opportunity, you should take it. But he, even though he's taken that position, has been awesome in helping out and scouting and still sending me players' names and things like that, and reaching out to agents and stuff. So he's been a big help. And then eventually here in the next little bit, I'll be hiring an assistant coach to fill that void. And that will be somebody that will help me big time on the recruiting side. And then it really is just all about connections.
I'd like to put in a recommendation for that assistant coach position, and that's this guy, Josh Dolan.
Right here.
See, he knows a little bit about the game, and you know.
So do I fill out the
you don't even have to
application
pay
on
him.
RailersHC.com, or do I just
Pay him in
call?
pizza?
I think you just call me. You can just call me directly or send me a text, and I can just send you a quick no back, and we can play the whole process. You know.
Well, so I know you're looking for guys, you know, mostly younger guys. It's development. That's what it's all about. And some of those guys, like you said, coming back from Europe, you know, like yourself, you came back here and stuff. But what if a guy like what's Bobby Butler? All right. So there's an example of someone that you guys had call him because of the COVID thing. But is there someone that you're also looking for like that? Somebody, you know, like you, to bring in as like a team leader?
Absolutely, especially like an older local guy like myself, who might be coming towards the end of their career a little bit, maybe wants to play close to home like I did. I am talking to Bobby. I'm trying to get him to come back and play this year and play the full season. So anyway, we can put some pressure on him to make that happen. I'd love to have him in my room, because he's a guy that is going to replace me points wise. He's a leader in the room. He's a veteran guy. He'd be that guy. That would fill that hole that I'm leaving. So no, he gets a text from me every week. Hey man, how's it going? Where are we at? I know I'm annoying, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't check in every week.
Because how many games did he end up playing last season?
He ended up playing just under 20, something like that. Maybe 18, 16, 17, 18, something like that.
And he was right up there with you, right? With points. And
he contributed. He had, I think, in the 18 games, maybe 15 points, something like that. So he was great for us. And like I said, he has that veteran presence, that, you know, that extra voice that you need in the room. So
listen, again, I'm real cheap. Just a one-game contract. One game. If I don't score, I'll donate $10,000 of Isaiah's money to a charity.
One of the biggest liabilities for an East Coast Hockey League team is injury, Josh. And I just don't think that we could take the risk that you might die if you came out and tried to play one game.
I wouldn't die. If I get really hurt, I'll just grimace. Okay, I just bite my lip off.
You sign a waiver that says we are not liable for anything that happens to you.
I'll sign everything like that.
His back hurts from building a dog fence in his parents' backyard. And he can't, and he wants to play fucking.
He just moved that box full of pillows in his move today. And his back is
right. Yeah.
Listen, that means I'm getting back in shape.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
Listen, Tim Thomas did it. He's a rookie at 30.
Yeah.
Josh Dolan, Tim Tom. No, doesn't need that.
That's a
Tim
fair
Thomas was an
comparison.
NHL rookie at 30, not a professional hockey rookie at 30. So
I think we'll stick with Josh Day on the podcast, and we'll just have Jordan come on.
All right,
bring
all
players.
right, fine.
Right. Yeah.
Do that stuff. None of us are going to play hockey anytime soon.
All right, just sign me to beat Shoe in the pie contest.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
All right.
oh man.
I think that might even be another hard no.
I mean, there are 3 members of this podcast. I don't know why we can't have 3 contestants in a pie eating contest.
Exactly.
Let's go.
You know?
Hey, listen,
I mean, that's an
get the
easy win for
podcast
me.
out
I
there.
put food away.
You know, and I don't understand why they don't allow checking during the pie contest. You know?
Oh, we
High elbow.
want. Well, we did see some checking in the hot dog eating contest down at Coney Island.
Oh yeah, that's
right.
right.
Running up on
Joey,
stage,
you should sign
so-
Joey Chestnut. You want a more aggressive team. That
Who
guy
took that guy
on
down?
crutches.
He dummied that guy,
Oh yeah,
and then went back and went on to win.
yeah, and he maybe missed 3 seconds.
yeah.
Yeah, that was like a
So
takedown,
that's
Probably
like a
what,
scrum in the
4 downs
crease.
for him in 3 seconds. Is that?
I forgot about that. That was aggressive.
Yeah.
What kind of a fucking idiot just runs up with some sign, Joe? It's like, fuck you, I'm eating hot dogs here,
Yeah,
man.
seriously. Yeah, you don't bother a shark when it's chewing on a carcass, right?
No.
Same thing with Joey Chestnut. You don't put your hands or any kind of digits near his face when he's eating.
I got to be honest with you. I feel like you would have a similar reaction if somebody ran up during the pie eating contest.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. I just get in the zone. But you know, like I said, the first time it was Trax. Trax was hassling me. Josh was there. He saw the whole thing. And then the other time, Tim Brennan, the guy who beat me last time, I had to file a grievance with the league because most of the pie, he has a huge beard, and most of the pie was in his beard, and that does not count. It's got to be
He
in
was
your
hiding it.
stomach.
Well, is that league run through the Railers? Is it run through Tabletop Pies?
That's an affiliate of the East Coast Hockey League. It's the East Coast Pie League.
Okay.
All right, you know, it's a subdivision.
I got a copy of all the affiliation agreements. That one I must have missed that one in the packet. So
Well, tell Cam to get that one on your desk.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, I will.
I want to join the East Coast Pie League. That sounds
East
fucking
Coast Pie
amazing.
Oh,
League.
yeah.
Yeah. We also have scouts. They're Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
But, you know, they just help deliver the pies. That's all.
Troop
All right.
2
Hey, I
and
like
Troop
the,
10.
I like the cross promotion because I'm looking at partnerships you guys do because you've got the Woo Sox logo on your thing. So you guys play nice together at the same time, which is awesome.
Well, we had our big Woo Sox night this past year. Actually, those were some cool alternate jerseys that we wore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun night. I think that was a hat trick night for me, actually.
See?
Yeah, it's hard to remember all of them,
I
huh?
think it was actually that and Patriots. I was a big specialty jersey guy. I think we talked about this. At
Yep.
one point. Yeah. So that was one of those nights. So hopefully I can sign Bobby and he can do the same thing next year.
Right.
Nice.
There has to be a Chick-fil-A night. They're one of your sponsors. I'm looking at some other good things you can
They
do. Also,
they do provide a press meal every once in a while, which now as a coach I'll have access to, and that scares me a little bit.
this is where if you're not careful,
Yes.
you'll get a little fat.
This is where it
Wait.
happens.
They fed the press, but they didn't feed the players. That just doesn't fucking make sense.
It's a collective bargaining agreement thing. We're not allowed to provide meals to players.
For real?
So that's a whole thing.
Are
Yeah,
you
that's
being
a thing.
serious?
I'm being
The
serious.
team
Like, on the
can't
road,
feed their own players?
I think there are certain times a year where they can provide meals. Or maybe I think I'm pretty sure that is the case. Yeah.
Who negotiated that?
I think
That's
like they
horrible.
make exceptions for like Thanksgiving and things like that. They'll
Oh, that's mighty nice of them.
Yeah, it's real nice.
like Christmas time. I know we're going to be spending Thanksgiving this year down in Norfolk, Virginia.
Yeah.
So the team will be able to provide us with a nice Thanksgiving meal that night that we're down there for that trip.
Because there's enough fucking food sponsors on here. Palace Pizza must be like, let me feed them. Jimmy John's is on here. Fucking
BT's, I think barbecue is that
Chili's. We got
Sponsors,
BT's
is it?
fried. Yeah, BT's fried chicken. I love their logo. There's a fucking bull, a pig chasing a chicken.
Yeah.
BT's fried chicken.
I've heard really good things about that place.
BT's has the best fried chicken I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Really?
it's 5 minutes from my house. I can
Oh,
smell it.
Jesus.
I can smell the smokers
It's
in the
on
morning.
Park Ave, right?
Yeah, it's on the corner of Park and Chandler. And
Oh, you know it well. You know it
Oh,
very
yeah,
well.
I know it well. My daughter used to work there. I used to
He
go
has
in
a
there and
parking
say,
spot.
"Listen,
I
before-
was gonna say they've
before-
got 6 parking spots in the back, but if you go 2 blocks over, there's always 3 parking there.
yeah. I mean, whatever you want. I mean, the place is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
But again, that's all food for the press.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
I mean,
ridiculous.
let's be honest. I don't want my guys crushing fried chicken before a game.
No.
That's going to slow.
We don't want a
This is-
Red Sox
this is
situation.
why-
It worked
No.
for I was going to say it worked for the Red Sox and Bobby Valentine.
I mean,
was a-
I
was a man,
could probably do it. I just wouldn't feel great my first or second shift of the game. You might see it again.
Oh,
But see,
now
this
that
is
would
why
be entertaining.
you also have Anytime Fitness and Crunch Fitness, Fatty Pants. So when you eat too much, fucking get over it. I'm looking, and these are legit sponsors from the webpage. When you eat too much Chili's or BTs, you got to go to Crunch Fitness and then go to Anytime before you skate on the
we
ice.
are a full circle sponsorship group.
I see this.
We will make you fat and get you skinny at the same time. It's great.
It's all about balance.
Yeah, it's all
Right.
about balance. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's like
Geico
how
will
Planet
take care
Fitness
of your
operates. Like
insurance.
you can work out for cheap, but then they give you free pizza on the way out on Tuesdays. So that's
Well,
Right?
that's like a mechanic leaving one nut loose. You know, you're all set, and then you got to come back in 3 weeks. Like something happens. Oh yeah, this was okay.
One Nut Loose should be the name of our metal band.
Yes. All right, man. Well, hey, Jordan, always a pleasure, sir.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
congrats,
you guys
man.
very much. And like I said, anytime you guys want to chat, I love doing the show with you guys. I have a blast. And I think maybe trying to get, I have no authority to speak on this, but maybe trying to get an in-arena show one game would be really cool.
That would
You're
be
the
awesome.
general manager. You can do that.
I
You
can
do that.
I can make powerful suggestions now.
Yeah.
Powerful.
But I don't have the final authority on anything outside of my dressing room and the guys that I bring into my dressing room.
Well, I think what we need to do is we need to sit down with Cliff and Susan and say, here's the thing, the owners of the team. This podcast is unbelievably powerful, and they are knuckleheads. Their metal band is called One Loose Nut or something dumb like that. And they'd be, they'll fucking, and if anybody rushes the stage when they're doing the pie eating contest, they'll fucking kill them.
Yes.
So they're good
absolutely.
for security.
Yeah.
Josh is a 30-year-old with a 90-year-old back. So why can't we do this? Like
I said,
Susan,
powerful. Yeah,
Cliff.
you guys keep complimenting Mike Myers' smile, and you might. I think you're on the right. You're headed in the right direction.
here's what I'll do. I own my own marketing agency. I will get Delta Dental to spend money with the Railers as the official dentist of. So now there's money involved. Now the podcast should
I
be
think
there. At least
that's who my dental coverage is with through the team. So it's already involved.
There we
How
go.
the fuck are they not? They should be sponsoring it with all the pictures of all the grills that are broken, and then the before and
Yeah,
afters.
all right. So I
Just saying.
I mean, the amount of advertising you have available that you can do with guys is it's limited. So it's
Just smile. Any of the players just smile. Him.
perfect.
There's our marketing calendar for the next 6 fucking months. Well, congrats again, brother. Thanks for
Yeah,
coming
man.
on, man.
Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
congrats,
Really,
dude.
really appreciate it. Had a great time again.
Cool.
Awesome.
Stay single. That's how you win.
That's right, man.
Exactly.
That's right. No,
That's the
no-
title of the
no
episode.
Women, no sex. All
Stay
right, you're married to the game.
You go pet that dog of yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take her out. She's laying on her back over here, passed out. So that's good.
Like my dog right over here.
Yes, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
just the furniture. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, brother.
All
Well,
right, we'll
thank you.
see you at the home opener.
Yeah,
Sounds
man.
good. See you guys.
All right,
All
thanks,
right, see you,
Jordan.
dude.